Test, test. Welcome, Seth.
How's it going?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, doing good.
Good. It looks like we are about 15 minutes away from starting.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure I could log in and have everything ready. And so is this going to be similar to the one that we did for DVH where you'll kind of do your slide deck and then pass control over
And
to
then I'll pass it over to you. That is correct.
okay, perfect. Perfect.
And um, and just remind me, it is pronounced Groff, right?
Yep. Yep, that's
That's
right.
what I thought. That's what I thought. I just wanted to be 100% sure.
Yep. And then last last question. Then you at the end you'll take control back and put up your contact information.
That
Correct?
is correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome, Seth. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we'll get you going here shortly.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, buddy. And if you want to test yours, by the way, if once you get yours up, if you let me know, I can pass control over to you real quick, just so we can test it. I've got someone else logged in, so they can I can see what they're seeing.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have it up now. If you want to just
Okay.
test her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me do that. Make presenter. Yes. Okay. You should have control now.
Yep.
Let me go see. Hey, can you pull it up? The webinar. Hang on just a second, buddy. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we're seeing your screen. It's just not in full in full
Yep.
screen yet, but yep, awesome.
Yep. I'll make it full
Perfect.
screen when we start. So. Yep.
Perfect. Well, we've got it, so I'm going to take control back and pass it off to you in a little bit.
All right. Sounds good. I'll sit tight.
Thanks, buddy. right at 10 o'clock. I'm going to give another minute or two for any last minute folks who are coming into the webinar. So if you will bear with us, we will get started momentarily. Hello, everyone, and good morning. Thank you so much for attending today's webinar. My name is John Stokes, and I'm a National Marketing Director here at Medicare Advantage Specialist. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce the GoToWebinar control panel, which is located on the right of your screen. There is an audio toolbar with options to use your computer speakers or telephone. There is a chat toolbar which allows you to ask questions, which we will answer at the end of the presentation. Webinar technology is great and allows you to sit in the comfort of your own office and learn about this great product. However, with all technology, there are sometimes minor issues that occur. So if audio pauses or the screen moves a little bit slowly, just stick with us and the technology issues will work themselves out. So before we get started, let's all take a big sigh of relief. Another annual enrollment period is behind us. MAS had a very successful season, and I want to extend a special thank you to the MAS agents on the webinar today who worked so very hard this season. We appreciate all you do to make a difference in what we do for the Medicare population. For those on the webinar today who are new to MAS, we are a nationally recognized, award-winning field marketing organization and a leader in the insurance brokerage industry. Our office is located in beautiful Hoover, Alabama, just outside of Birmingham. We are excited to share with you that MAS has become a partner of Integrity Marketing Group in October of 2019. We've had a long-standing relationship with Integrity Marketing Group over the years, and it was a natural alignment for us to become a platform partner. Through this, MAS will bring more products, more tools, and more resources to our broker distribution. We're truly honored to be working alongside other partners in our industry. At MAS, we are proud of the superior service, support, and technology we provide to agents across the country who work with us. We take great pride in our relationships with our agents and our carriers. Our staff provides marketing strategies and assistance, creating numerous opportunities for our agents through lead programs, our Turning 65 platform, the Agency Builder program, Fast Start, and other incentive programs. MAS marketing managers are eager to work with producers to help grow your business. We can provide market analysis of products available in your area to assist you in developing a strategic marketing plan for your business. We're always up to date on the latest products, carriers, lead programs, and services as they become available. Of course, we are always available to provide both back office and field support, making it easier for you to concentrate on sales growth. Our goal is to help you grow your business. Our specialty is the senior market, and our carrier portfolio is supported by Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, final expense whole life, term life, universal life, critical illness, cancer plans, hospital indemnity, and annuities. Here is a snapshot of just a few of our portfolio partners, and we are adding new and exciting opportunities on a regular basis. Sorry, there was a little, that one was missing in there, so I apologize to everyone. I want to take a moment to share with you just a few of the resources provided to MAS agents and talk about our reward program. MAS has partnered with CSG Actuarial to offer agents a wealth of resources in order to stay at the top of the competitive insurance industry. Whether in your office or out in the field, we have multiple ways of helping you access the production and plan information you need to help you and your clients make the best decision for their insurance needs. Agents who have contracts through MAS can easily register on our website to access the quoting tool. Just visit www.medicareadvantagespecialist.com, register for our agent portal and the quoting tool. From there, you can easily run quotes for 200 plus carriers, do plan comparisons, and research underwriting conditions 24/7. There is even an online application tool for some Medicare supplement carriers. So be sure when we're done to take a look. The next tool that is so intuitive and innovative is exclusive to agents contracted with Integrity Partners. You get access to a smartphone app which provides agents access to MA and MedSup plan comparisons and rates, final expense quoting with underwriting information at your fingertips. And the coolest part of this software is a T65 map. Imagine working in a specific area of town, opening the app and letting the app identify your location. And then little red dots populate all around your location of people turning 65 or who have just turned 65. And then you'll be able to click on those red dots and see that person's name, address, when they are turning 65, and the most competitive MedSup in that zip code. If I can ad-lib for just a second here, if you have not checked out this application yet, please do. If you are contracted with us, it is truly amazing, and I've been in the insurance business for 10 years, and it's genuinely one of the coolest things that I have seen. For more information about this awesome tool, contact your MAS marketing director today. Also exclusive to Integrity Partner agents, we are pleased to provide you access to the Medicare Center multi-carrier online enrollment tool. Once you're registered and confirmation of agent readiness is completed, you will have access to send electronic comparison to clients quickly and compliantly, cross-compare plans among multiple carriers, use the CRM tool to track new and existing clients, greatly increase sales by saving time. You can enroll a client in 20 to 30 minutes without leaving your home or your office. The best part, the tool is offered to our agents absolutely free. For more information, contact your marketing director today. We said this before, but your success is our success. We want to help you develop your business. We are pleased to offer MAS agents access to a lead program. Whether you are direct to MAS or work with one of our agency partners, we want to help you see more prospects. We work closely with our carrier partners. We talk a lot about recruitment, and oftentimes we find ourselves doing a great job at recruitment. That's not enough, though, for you or for us. It does no one good to get an agent contract that he or she does nothing with. We want to help get you writing your first piece of business. For new agents to MAS, we have a Fast Start initiative. It's a $25 Visa gift card for your first issued app, and that is only once, and a $75 Visa gift card with 4 more applications issued in that same month. And if you refer an agent to MAS, there is a $50 Visa gift card that would be coming your way as well. For our agents interested in building an agency, we have the Agency Builder program, which is designed to help an agent do just that, build an agency. We will run our auto dialer to call agent recruitment list. The auto dialer will give the agents answering the call the option to press 1 and speak to the live rep. If they press 1, the call will be connected to the agent trying to build the agency and give him the opportunity to recruit that agent. If they do not answer, a voicemail will be left of a recording that the recruiting agent records, or we can record one for you. We also lower lead costs by splitting the lead costs in thirds, with MAS taking a third, the new agency taking a third, and then the agent being recruited taking a third, which comes out to about $150 each for every 1,000 pieces of mail sent. So here we have some ideas for marketing to your future clients who are turning 65. Direct mail, referrals, mailers, or hot knocks. So many of our agents who have had success selling Medicare supplements over the phone, or good old grassroots marketing, or door hanging, which is basically hand delivering direct mail. Remember, you do not have the same compliance rules when marketing Medicare supplements as you do with Medicare Advantage. We also know that growing your business is only going to happen if you develop a winning strategy, consistently putting in the work and utilizing smart tools and platforms that make it easier for you to deliver your expertise right to the client. A few years ago, we developed a Turning 65 platform. We assist our agents in identifying target markets for the Turning 65 population. We created a process that is so simple for agents to follow that we now have many agents hosting weekly and monthly meetings, creating a tremendous stream of lead generation. We've created a seminar in a box of sorts. We're making it easier for you to get in front of more people. We work with a lead vendor and mail house in Texas. We create an exclusive letter promoting a T65 workshop. You find the location, we work with the vendor to identify the number of eligibles, and we mail an agent customized letter. Next, we provide you with folders for your seminar. We've created talking points to keep you compliant, a workbook, and an FAQ, and other important information for your prospects. It is an easy-to-follow system. Our agents are using this system on a regular basis. They are increasing their T65 sales, getting referrals, and cross-selling products. This system is a win-win for all. Talk to a marketing director to learn more. So the AEP season is over, so you may be asking yourself, what now? Well, we are here busy strategizing for the SEP and planning for the SEP sales. Be sure to outreach your marketer, as we've got some great data put together with the 2020 landscape, as well as marketing ideas. So now let's get to today's webinar subject. Today we are joined by Seth Groff of SureBridge. We recently welcomed SureBridge into the MAS portfolio. Seth has been a tremendous support to our organization by getting us up to speed on the tremendous menu of products offered by SureBridge. Today we're going to talk about selling strategies for their HospitalWise and CancerWise products. We are excited to share all of the reasons you should be selling critical illness and providing your clients with access to the SureBridge portfolio, but most important, how to increase your commissions. So with that being said, allow me to introduce Seth Groff.
All right. Well, thanks, John, for that warm introduction. I always love seeing all the great tools and resources that Medicare Advantage Specialist offers to the agents. I have to, be candid with you. That app that you offer through Integrity looks pretty sweet. So if I was an agent, I know that I'd be definitely jumping on the opportunity to use that. But I am excited for today's call because today we're going to talk about a strategy that a lot of agents that are working with clients in the senior market are having a lot of success with. And specifically, it's the agents that are out there writing Med Advantage plans. And I just assume that if you're on today's call, you're probably working that senior market, you probably sell Medicare Advantage plans, and you can probably take advantage of the concept that we're going to talk about today. After we talk about the sales strategies using HospitalWise, we'll also dive in and take a look at SureBridge's critical illness plan that can also be sold to seniors. If you're not familiar with SureBridge, we are one of the fastest growing ancillary carriers out in the marketplace. SureBridge is going to be the marketing name. We're underwritten by the Chesapeake Life Insurance Company, and we try to leverage technology to create products that are going to be the leaders in the industry. They're going to be, we keep them affordable for your clients, and we still try to pay you, the agents, very competitive commission. And the way we do that is by leveraging technology and partnering with great organizations like Medicare Advantage specialists that help us distribute our products. So today, I'm really excited. I think that the ideas that I'll share with you are going to be applicable to your business, and you're going to be able and start using them immediately. Now, maybe you write in the senior market and you're saying, Seth, okay, I write Med Advantage plans. I'm very successful. I make a good living. Why would I want to talk about ancillary products? I just don't have time. Well, first of all, what I always talk about is why you should sell ancillary products, whether it's a hospital indemnity plan, whether it's a critical illness, whether it's the dental, vision, hearing plan, whatever the case might be. The more products you sell to your clients that they need, the better their retention will be. We talk about finding new clients all the time in the sales industry, right? We're always put an emphasis on getting new sales, getting new sales, getting new sales. And it's very important to continue to feed that pipeline so that we have new people to talk to. However, that's the most expensive part of our business. And so once we get a client, and if we're able to retain them, and whether it's just renewals on the products that we sell them, or if their needs change later down the line and they think of you as the person that can solve their new problems, it's just going to be better off and going to end up in making you more money. So the more products that you sell a client, the more likely they're going to stick with you, because chances are your competitor down the road isn't going to offer the plan that you sold them, especially if you're going in there and sharing concepts like we're going to talk about today with the hospital indemnity plan that can help pay for some of the out-of-pocket costs that are going to be associated with that Med Advantage plan that you sold them. Also, this is a great way to increase your revenue. This is just a kind of an average statistic. Obviously, it's going to vary depending on the products that you sell, on the size of the premiums. But on average, we see agents that write one policy per week, one ancillary product per week, increase their income by at least $10,000. And so you can do the math on that. Maybe $10,000 doesn't get you very excited, but what if you do 5 per week? Or if you just think at the end of the year, how many you could write during AEP. So there's a huge opportunity if you're willing to talk about these ancillary products to increase your overall income. And I always tell people it increases your ROI per client. If you're paying for leads or, doing mailers, the more products that you can sell that client that they need and that they keep, the better your ROI is going to be on that investment. So ancillary products are just a great way to do it. And then finally, your clients need them. I'm a firm believer in don't sell anything that you don't believe in. But, when we're working with these clients in the senior market and selling them Med Advantage plans, the reality is that they do have a lot of out-of-pocket exposure. And there's just going to be some clients that are going to be on a limited income on a month-to-month basis. And they're just not going to be able to write a check for several $1,000s if they're confined to a hospital. So a better strategy for them might be able to carve out just a little portion of their monthly budget to pay for a hospital indemnity plan that will help cover those out-of-pocket costs if something catastrophic happens and they end up in the hospital. So just remember, selling ancillary plans are going to help you keep your clients. It's going to differentiate yourself from the competitors. It's going to boost your income, and then finally, your clients need them. So, here's when we talk about HospitalWise, and we'll talk about the product here on a couple of more slides. But really, here's the need for it. If you look at the average out-of-pocket cost for in-network services for individuals with Medicare Advantage, it's a little bit over $5,000. And if you look at out-of-network service, now you're pushing up over $8,000. And again, there's a lot of seniors that are on very limited budgets. And, writing a check for $5,000 or $8,000 is just going to wipe them out. And, they probably don't have that much cash just lying around. And so a better strategy might be taking a smaller portion of their monthly income to pay for a hospital indemnity plan that can help cover some of those out-of-pocket costs. Also, we do know that, there's a large number of Medicare Advantage plans being sold. There's a lot of clients that are choosing those just because of the cost effectiveness of those plans. So there's plenty of people out there to go out and talk about the concept that we're going to talk about today. And then finally, that there is some protection built in with Med Advantage plans with with the out-of-pocket cost, but the reality is that if you go to the hospital, it's going to be expensive. And so you better have strategies in place to help cover some of those out-of-pocket costs. So when we look at HospitalWise, here are going to be the plan details. As you can see, we got a wide range of issue ages, all the way down to 0, all the way up to age 90. So whether your focus is in that over 65 market, or if you do talk to some clients in the under 65 market, this plan is going to work for them. It's going to be the same plan regardless of their age, all the way from 0 to age 90. The nice thing about this plan is we try to keep it simple regarding the different factors that are going to impact the premiums. As you can see, the only premium factor that we have is going to be issue age. Otherwise, we don't care, male, female, or whether they use tobacco products, they're going to make that same rate, which is going to make it simple from a quoting standpoint and when talking to your clients. From an underwriting perspective, this plan uses what is called true accept, reject, simplified underwriting. What that means is that we are underwriting this based on how the client answers the questions on the application. So as long as they answer all the questions on the application truthfully and they're able to answer them favorably, this policy will get issued. We are not doing any MIB. There are no script checks. There's no personal phone history interviews. So as long as they can get through the health questions, this plan is going to get issued, and we issue over 95% of these in real time, so that when the client is done signing the application, you'll get a notification back that says, great, congratulations, you're approved. And so it's a very quick process. We do leverage online e-applications in order to move this process along. But the great thing about using the online e-app is that policy is approved. The client knows that they have coverage in force, and they don't have to wait around to see whether or not they are going to get coverage issued. The other thing that I'd like to point out is that this plan does have a 6-month look back for the first 6 months of the policy for pre-existing conditions. Outside of that, if they're hospitalized due to a pre-existing condition that didn't, make them ineligible for the plan from an underwriting perspective, they would be covered if they ended up in the hospital. This plan, HospitalWise, does have a one-time application fee of $20. If you were on the call a couple weeks ago where we talked about Prime DVH, you'll notice that policy does not have an application fee. However, HospitalWise and then the critical illness plan do have an application fee. The good news is that if multiple people apply on the application, or if they apply for multiple products, it's only going to be one application fee. So if you're meeting with a husband and a wife, or 2 individuals, it's better to put them on one application. That way they don't get dinged for 2 application fees. It's just going to be 1 per application when you submit that. But here's how the plan works. The basic of the plan is going to be a daily benefit for if the client is confined to a hospital. So you can see there's a wide range of daily benefits. It goes all the way down to $50 a day, all the way up to $1,000 a day. And then you also have several different benefit periods to select from. So you can do the 3, 6, 10, 21, 180, or 365 days. And the reason there's so many options is, number one, we wanted flexibility in selecting a plan that fits the client's budgets. Some people might only want protection for 3 days to keep it cost effective. Some people might want to stretch that out all the way to 365. But when you're talking to seniors that purchase that Med Advantage plan, you're probably going to use either the 3 or 6 day, and we'll show you an example of why that's going to be the case. But the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of flexibility so that you can align the daily benefit with their out-of-pocket costs associated with the hospital confinement, and then also their responsibility. So a lot of times you're either going to see, a 5-day responsibility for a copay or 6-day, and we'll be able to tweak that benefit period to align with what their out-of-pocket responsibility is going to be with that Med Advantage plan. Observation benefit is automatically included, which is pretty awesome because a lot of times doctors are hesitant to actually admit somebody into the hospital. They might just keep them there for observation. And there's a lot of hospital indemnity plans out there that won't pay until they're actually confined. And so we're going to pay the same benefit, once they hit that 12-hour mark for observation. And so they're going to be able to receive their benefit even if they're not going to be confined. Also, there's a built-in mental nervous benefit, pays a daily benefit up to $250 for a maximum of 7 days if they're confined due to a mental or nervous disorder. And again, the reason we put that on there is because a lot of other products out there do not have that benefit built in. So after you select the daily benefit amount and the daily benefit period, it's time to select the additional riders. Now, really what I'm going to focus on today are going to be the riders that are going to be applicable to that senior Med Advantage plan. And you'll see in the example that I give how we're going to customize this plan to really align with that Med Advantage plan that you sell. Now, the lump sum hospital confinement rider, pretty straightforward, pays that lump sum benefit when they're confined to the hospital. We typically see this being sold in the under 65 market and not typically sold in the over 65 market. So we're not going to focus on that one today. The outpatient surgery rider is one that you're probably going to add to the plan with your senior clients. Pretty straightforward. It's going to pay a benefit of $250 to $2,000 for those outpatient surgical procedures resulting from a sickness or injury. So again, a lot of times they're not going to be confined to a hospital for surgery, and so this is going to pay pay a benefit to help them offset the costs associated with their Med Advantage plan. Skilled nursing facility rider. A lot of Med Advantage plans are going to have a copay for being confined to a skilled nursing facility from days 21 through 100. Again, this will allow you to select that daily benefit and align the benefit period with what their exposure is. So a lot of times the Med Advantage plans will cover it from days 1 through 20 and then days 101 on and so they kind of have that hole there for days 21 through 100. And the great thing about HospitalWise is we can dial that in and just cover that portion where they're going to have that exposure. Emergency care rider, pretty straightforward, pays a benefit if they go to the emergency room due to a sickness or injury, okay? So one of the great things about this plan is that if they go to that emergency room, whether it's for a sickness or for an injury, they're going to receive that benefit. And this plan is not contingent on hospitalization. So they go to that emergency room, they just weren't feeling great, they were sick, they would receive that benefit and help cover their out-of-pocket costs. The one thing that I will say about this is that this has to be an emergency room at the hospital, okay? So if they go to an urgent care center, this will not pay. It has to be the emergency room at a hospital in order to receive that benefit. Ambulance rider, pretty straightforward. If they have to take a ride in the ambulance, it would pay that benefit. And then also the outpatient major diagnostic rider pays the benefit for CAT scans, MRIs, EKGs, things of that nature. So the point is that I'm going to show you how you select these riders and, again, really customize a plan to fill in all the gaps associated with the Med Advantage plans. There's also a wellness rider, but we don't sell very much of this in the over 65 market. It just pays the cash benefit to the clients if they go receive these different things on the screen here. However, when you start looking at the cost of it, you're basically just trading dollars, and I typically don't recommend adding it, but it is available. But here's what I'm talking about as far as customizing a plan for your client based on the Med Advantage plan that you sell them. So you can see over here, we got a 65-year-old purchased a Med Advantage plan. This is going to be a pretty common type of a plan. Obviously it's going to vary based on the area where you're selling, but this will just give you a general idea of how the plan would work. So the Med Advantage plan has a $285 copay for the first 5 days of hospital confinement. They have an outpatient surgery copay of $250. If they go to the emergency room, it has an $80 copay. A ride in the ambulance, it has a $200 copay. You can see that for skilled nursing confinement, they have a $175 copay days 21 through 100. And then also major diagnostic exams, they got 20% coinsurance. And so when you look over here on the right, you can see that what we did is that we wrote SureBridge's hospital indemnity plan, we did a base policy, 6-day to cover the 5 days, and we did $300 a day. So we got more than enough to cover. Then also we added a $250 outpatient surgery rider. So if they had an outpatient surgery rider, that copay would be covered. Emergency care rider, we actually bumped this up a little bit to $200 just because it's so inexpensive, even though they only had an $80 copay. Ambulance rider, we matched that up great. Skilled nursing rider, we matched that up for days 21 through 100, and then added the major diagnostic rider of $200. Keep in mind that the hospital indemnity plan pays cash benefit to the client, right? So we're not paying the hospital. We're actually paying this directly to the client. And so if there's more than what their out-of-pocket costs were associated with the Med Advantage plans, remember, they get to keep it. Or when we pay them, they can use it for whatever they want. But we basically filled in all of these gaps with this plan for a total cost of $54.04 a month. So very affordable for that client. Again, if they did end up in a hospital and had all these things, it'd result in, several $1,000s. And we were able to, which they may or may not be able to write a check for, but we were able to basically provide some excellent protection for, just north of $50 a month. And most clients, when you lay it out like this, they're going to be excited and want to purchase this plan. From an underwriting perspective, these are going to be the knockout questions. What I always tell people is to, really pay attention to the look back. And so, if they haven't been treated or diagnosed for these issues in the past 2 years, they're not going to be an issue. All this is going to be on the application. And so what I always tell people is just read the questions on the application. And if they can answer the questions favorably, it's not going to be an issue. But this will kind of give you an idea of what is going to be covered and what won't be. But what I want to show you right now is I want to show you a tool, and we have a tool that will help you identify the gaps associated with the Med Advantage plans. So once you get contracted with Medicare Advantage Specialists, you're going to get an agent code. And once you get that agent code, you'll be able to log into the agent portal. And just real quick, I want to show you this tool that will actually show you the gaps associated with the plans that you're selling. So I'm just going to go out here, build a real quick proposal. I'm actually in Nebraska, so I'm going to enter a Nebraska zip code. All right, and so I'm just going to run a quote real quick on a 65-year-old individual, enter in the basic information for them. And then it'll pull up the quote tool, click on add plans, and then up here in the right-hand corner, you're going to see where it says HospitalWise Senior Plan Builder. So I can click on this, and it's going to pull up this tool where it's going to have all the major Med Advantage plans out there. So I can select Aetna, and I'll just select their PPO plan, click view, and what it's going to do is it's going to show all of the out-of-pocket costs associated with this plan and how SureBridge is HospitalWise, the recommended plan to sell them. So I can have this information, and then I can go back and run a quote and align the quote to match with the out-of-pocket cost. So we make it easy for you to sell this plan to the client because we outline the exposure to the client for you and then show you the recommended solution with the HospitalWise. So if you want the number one sales tip from agents out there that are selling a lot of this HospitalWise alongside the Med Advantage plan, they use this right here. They'll print it off before they go talk to the client, or else they'll pull it up while they're talking to the client, and they will show them this, and they'll show them the solution, and then they go out and run the quote and show them what it's going to cost them. So if you want the best tip as far as how to sell these HospitalWise plans in the senior market, stick to that, and you'll have a lot of success. So the 4 sales tips that I have for you: number 1, utilize the Hospital SeniorWise Plan Builder. Again, that'll pretty much make the sale for you. You just show them the exposure, and then you educate them on their options. They're either going to have to pay for that out-of-pocket cost out of their own pocket, or you can carve out, a small monthly premium to do a HospitalWise plan that will pay that cash benefit to them to pay that out-of-pocket cost. Number two, remember, customize the plan. Don't go out there and sell one hospital indemnity plan to everybody. Really customize the plan to align with the Med Advantage plan that you're selling. It's just going to be a lot easier and make a lot more sense to the client. Number three, keep premiums within their budget. Most seniors are going to look at that and say, great, I want it. However, if it's not in their budget, they're not going to keep it, and no one benefits from that. And really what we're seeing is we're seeing those premiums anywhere between $45 and $60. And what I tell people is that if you get much outside of that, chances are they might buy it, but it's going to lapse. And again, no one's going to benefit from it. So keep in mind that if it gets too costly, right? If the plan is too costly, just cover some of their out-of-pocket exposure. So instead of doing a 6-day benefit, maybe you only do a 3-day benefit. Or instead of doing, $300 a day, maybe you only do $200 a day. Something is better than nothing. So if they don't think they can afford it, start dialing down the benefits to get them a plan that fits in their budget. Because I'm telling you, something is better than nothing, and they would much rather pay, if they had a $300 copay and only receive $200, that's better than not receiving anything. And then finally, be ready to pivot. People that use that HospitalWise Senior Plan Builder, the biggest objection that they get is people will just come back and say, I got plenty of money in savings. I'm just going to cash flow any out-of-pocket exposure. If they say that, just say great and move on. Write down their name, and then those are going to be your good clients to go back and talk to about the next plan that we're talking about today, which is going to be the critical illness plan. If you're not familiar with critical illness, it's going to pay a lump sum upon diagnosis of a covered condition. So your big ones are going to be your cancer, heart attack, and stroke. And what we've done with this plan is we've really made it very flexible. So again, you can customize this plan to align with what your client is looking for in terms of coverage. But again, we got a wide range of issue ages. So all the way from age 0 all the way up to age 90. So again, if you're right in that senior market, 65 and above, this is going to be a great plan for you. If you are working in that senior market, I always point out that the maximum benefit does drop to $50,000. But still for individuals 65 and above, for a true simplified issue plan that is true accept reject, doesn't require any MIB, doesn't require any script checks or personal phone interviews, this is going to be the easiest plan for them to get in force, assuming they're healthy and can answer the questions favorably on the application. I do like to point out that if you do write some business in the under 60, well, in this case under 63 market, we actually have guaranteed issue plans of critical illness available for $5,000 or $10,000. But again, if you're only doing over 65, that's not going to be applicable. But I always like to point that out. But the thing to remember here is that this is going to be simplified issue for your senior clients all the way up to $50,000. It's true accept reject, so no MIB, no script check, no personal phone interview. Answer the question on the application, and it comes back approved, and your client's going to be good to go. Again, remember one-time application fee, but let's say for an example they apply for HospitalWise and critical illness, that's only going to be one application fee. Or if a husband and wife or a couple apply on the same app, it's only going to be one as well. But here's the way that it works, and we need to spend a little bit of time on this because we built this a little bit different than a lot of other critical illness plans out there. We wanted the ability to carve out categories, okay? And so we know that there's some people that maybe only wants cancer coverage. We know that there's some people out there that maybe only want heart coverage. And we wanted the ability that if they only wanted a certain portion, that they could have the option of only purchasing that portion. Or there's going to be some people out there that want a comprehensive critical illness plan. And if that's the case, we can add all the different categories and build a comprehensive plan. So the way that it works is that you start with one of the base policies. So typically, just the way that the quoting system is set up, most people start with CancerWise, after you do that, you can add the HeartWise and critical conditions rider. And on the next slide, we'll kind of go through what's covered in each one. But just remember from this slide is that you can either just sell one portion, like the cancer or just the heart, or you can combine them all with the critical conditions rider to make a comprehensive critical illness plan. The good news is that the illustration software, the very first option when you go in there is going to say CIY Suite, and it automatically adds all of them for you. So we make it very, very easy for you to sell that comprehensive plan if you want. But really with the HeartWise, it's going to pay your lump sum for heart attack, cancer, stroke, for your heart attack, stroke. You can always see that there are going to be some lower benefits. So like for a coronary artery bypass, it's only going to pay 25%. But remember that doesn't mean that the benefit's done. They still would be eligible for the other 75% as well. Cancer, pretty straightforward. If they're diagnosed with cancer, it's going to pay that lump sum. Remember, they can receive the full benefit in each category. And so if they have the heart attack, they would receive the benefit. Then if they have cancer, they would receive the benefit. I do like to point out that ours does pay $250 for skin cancer. Most other critical illness plans out there actually don't pay that benefit. And then the critical conditions rider is just going to add some additional protection for some other conditions that are out there. I always like to point out this loss of independent living benefit. So if they're unable to do 2 out of 6 ADLs, they get 25% of their benefit. Remember, this benefit is paid in cash, lump sum, directly to the client for them to use how they see fit. And so if they have a $50,000 benefit, they get cancer, they get a check for $50,000, which is pretty impressive. There's also going to be some reoccurrence benefit riders. These are going to be an additional cost, but basically the way that they work is that, if they receive cancer, that cancer payout the cancer portion would pay out if they had this rider and then they were in remission for 365 days and then were diagnosed with cancer again, it'd pay up to 50% of the benefit. So if people are worried about, multiple diagnoses throughout their life, this is a way that you can address it. Sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. It does cost some additional premium, but it really isn't that expensive. But here on this screen, just want to point out how we pay that lump sum in each category. And so if you tacked on that along with the reoccurrence riders, you're going to see that, a $50,000 benefit all of a sudden turns into a $200,000 benefit if that individual is really unlucky and just has a bad run of health. So very, very benefit rich. Remember that there's a lot of critical illness plans out there that are going to be, one and done. They get one condition and it's over, where this plan can actually receive multiple payouts. We all know the need, right? I mean, we all know somebody that's had heart attack, cancer, or stroke. And so, I'm not a real big fan of statistics, but just always like to reinforce the fact that these things do happen. And when you're having the conversation with people, just ask them these 4 questions, okay? They're in about every critical illness presentation out there, regardless of carrier, but the reason they're out there is because they work. So just ask them, who do they know that have been diagnosed with heart attack, cancer, or stroke? Typically, they personalize the experience and think of somebody very close to them, right? When I think of that, I think of my dad that had a heart attack. Was it expected? Obviously, the answer is no. Cancer doesn't discriminate. Heart attack doesn't discriminate. And so a lot of times it even happens to the people that are the most healthy. Did it create emotional or financial stress? Probably. They probably missed some work. They probably had some out-of-pocket costs, co-pays, things like that. Maybe they had to go see a specialist that wasn't covered. Whatever the case might be, they probably had out-of-pocket costs. They might have had to stop their income from coming in by missing work. And so, yeah, it did create financial stress. And obviously, a lump sum check would help them ease the burden. Okay. I'll be candid. As long as I've been in this industry, we've never had a client say, "Nah, we don't need that check." Right. And so it really impacts their lives when they receive that lump sum check that they can go use as they see fit. Here's an example of how to position in the under 65 market. But again, here's, how they position in the over 65 market. You do see that the premiums are going to be a little bit higher. And so I always tell people that, this is better maybe for your more affluent clients. If they're going on a Med Advantage plan because they just don't have a lot of discretionary income, this probably isn't a great plan for them. But if you have more affluent clients that are worried about, being able to go see the specialist that they want, this might be a great option for them. We do see smaller benefit amounts in that senior market. So we see a lot of $10,000, $20,000 benefits, but that's just to, keep the cost in line. So kind of give you an idea of what it costs. But, the reality is the reason it costs so much when you turn 65 and older is because chances of you using it are pretty high. So just keep that in mind. But the younger you can get your clients in a critical illness plan, the better off they are going to be. But here's some of the underwriting conditions that will be of concern. Remember, you can carve out categories. So if it has a check mark here, it means that it's not eligible for that portion of the plan. So the CA is cancer, the HS is HospitalWise, and the CCR is going to be that critical conditions rider. But what that means is that, for example, if they've been diagnosed with cancer, obviously they're not going to be eligible for the cancer portion or the critical condition, but you could still write them the heart. Okay, so you could just go out and write them the heart portion if they wanted that coverage. But this would kind of give you an idea of what would knock them out for the different conditions. So again, like if they have diabetes, and they have the A1C greater than 7% or taking more than 50 units of insulin, they wouldn't be able to get the heart or the critical conditions rider, but they would be able to get the cancer portion. So this is just kind of a good tool to use. And remember, the reason we did it with those 3 different categories was so that you, the agent, and the client have the ability to mix and match the benefit that aligns with their specific health conditions and their specific needs. So with that, John, that was the presentation that I had prepared for you today. I will turn it back over to you so that you can share your screen, share your contact information. If you're not appointed with SureBridge, be sure to reach out to Medicare Advantage specialists and get set up immediately. And so that you have access to all these tools and can start using them with your clients. So, John, if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them at this time.
I'm looking right now to see if we have any questions. And if you have a question and you have not put it in right now. Now's the time to ask, but you can also follow up with us after the webinar, and we will be happy to get any answers for you. To those of you who are on the webinar today and you are selling Medicare Advantage, I encourage you to really consider this product. Hospital indemnity is not something that most clients are going to be aware that they have an option to them. And so if you're not the person telling them about that, they won't even know that that's available to them. And then cancer, I can tell you people are thinking about it all the time. And so, if your clients are looking for these things, whether they know it or not, you have to be the one to allow them to know that you offer this and that you can help them with these issues. So thank you again so much, Seth, for, all of your insight today. And we look forward to here at MAS helping you agents who are on this call today get started with SureBridge. They're great to work with. Their contracting process is very simple. And as you saw through the webinar today, they are very user friendly once you get in there and start quoting for your clients and getting the business going for your clients. So we're here at MAS to serve you, the agents that are attending, and you see, we understand that our long-term success will define itself based on your success as an agent or as a carrier. Medicare Advantage Specialist is committed to exceeding our clients' expectations in every interaction and helping you achieve the same level of service with your customers. Agent support is our primary goal, and we provide every tool we can assist you in your efforts to identify, inform, close, and follow your sales process. In more practical terms, our marketing team works arm in arm with you to deliver print media, internet, direct mail, and other marketing tools, keeping your pipeline moving. And we have one of the most experienced support teams in our industry. So with that, I would thank you all for attending today. And if you have any questions about SureBridge or you want to get contracted with SureBridge, give us a call here. My name is John Stokes, and I would love to speak with you and help you more. Thank you again, Seth, and everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day.